let's go ahead and shift that perspective. It wasn't a waste of time. It was a lesson. Let me say that again. It wasn't a waste of time. It was a lesson. I've recently reflected on some things from the past couple months and the past couple years, just different experiences that I've had. And I wanted to come on and share that with you guys. I promise there is a point at the end of all this. After I got out of hi, honey. No, no, you can't come up here. We can't both fit up. Thank you. All right. All right. You're a pretty girl. Yes, I know you're a pretty girl. Thank you. All right, honey, get down. Go lay down. Go lay down. After I got out of a 2-year relationship recently, I remember I was at my best friend's house. She is like my sister, and I was sitting there with her and her mom. I remember thinking, wow, I just wasted 2 years of my time. And my friend's mom told me the opposite. She said, no, it wasn't a waste of time. She said, think about how much you've learned about yourself. And it was at that moment that I had that shift of perspective. For me, it was a lesson. I learned what my boundaries were and how to set them. I learned how I need to be treated. I learned what I need in a partner. I learned about different areas in my life that I needed to grow in. And yes, it was painful, and it still is, but we're like plants. The tears from the hurt and the pain, that water helps us grow. And in that way, we're like plants. We need that water to grow. And when we go through these painful situations and we grieve and we process and we cry, those are good. They are good because they help us grow. They help us thrive. And over time, we will see that. In that moment, we may not. I'm starting to get to a point of where I'm realizing that the pain that I just went through, it was meant to teach me something. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that I had been going through some job rejection as well. Each job rejection taught me something. I learned how to interview better. I learned how to look for jobs more effectively, how to avoid ghost jobs, how to avoid spam jobs. Each rejection pushed me closer to the opportunity that was meant for me. The situations that hurt you or didn't go the way that you expected were given to you to teach you something. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear that because it makes it feel like the things that you went through just somehow go away and they don't matter anymore. But that's not true. Your pain is very real. The things that you went through were very real. And I don't want you to ignore that pain because it's important for you to go through that. It's important for you to feel that pain in those moments and not ignore it and push it aside, repress it. That's not helpful for anyone. You do need to sit with your hurt, grieve, process your emotions, and then reflect on what you learned. Sitting with your hurt and your pain is such an important part of the process of healing. Don't ignore or invalidate your pain and the experience that you went through. Yes, there was a lesson to come out of it, but two things can be true at the same time. You were hurt and you are grieving and you are experiencing painful things, and you shouldn't invalidate that experience. But at the same time, this was a lesson for you. And that's something that, again, I had been struggling with when my partner broke up with me. When my friend's mom said it was a lesson, there was a part of me that was like almost angry, but then I realized she wasn't invalidating my experience. She knows everything of what happened in that relationship. She knows all the good because there was really good moments. There was so many good experiences that we had together, but there was also painful experiences and hurt from both sides. And even now, I am dealing with some of those emotions. It's things that I'm talking about with my therapist of, again, two things can be true at once. We can we can have had really good experiences together and so much love between us. But at the same time, we hurt each other and I was still hurt. This mentality can apply to so many things in our lives. Did you spend a lot of time learning a new hobby or learning a new course or getting a certificate and then ended up just not doing it anymore? That's okay. That's great. You learned something new about yourself. You expanded your knowledge in a certain area. And even if you don't apply it to your life, you still learned something. And whether you chose to pursue it or not, let's say you chose to not pursue it. Well, then you learned that you just really don't actually like this area or this certain thing or this certain hobby. And now you can mark that off your list of, I actually wasn't really interested in that. I know that kind of happened with me a few times where, I was learning a certificate. I've gotten so many certificates through Google to try and expand my knowledge and to try to get a job in a different area. And I did UX design, I did IT, I also learned some like AWS with like cloud computing and things like that. And I applied to jobs in those areas for like more than a year. Up until a couple months ago, I was still applying to jobs in that area. And I just wasn't seeing anything. I wasn't hearing back. I wasn't getting interviews. I would be ghosted. I tried for a long time. And at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to shift and go and do something else. And that's what I did. But I don't see it as a waste of time because I genuinely enjoyed taking those courses and learning new things about myself and about my interests. And even now with the IT course that I took, it taught us how to build a PC. And in the next month or so, my friend and I, we're going to go build our own PCs together. And it's so fun. That course opened up a new interest for me. And so even if I'm not pursuing a career in help desk or IT support or things like that, I'm going to go build a PC with my friend. So just having that shift of mindset and that perspective opens up a lot of doors and opportunities for you. I don't want you to ignore that. I want you to embrace that, validate yourself, validate your pain, validate your experiences, but then have that shift of what did I learn? What new things has this opened up for me? That is the biggest takeaway I want you to have from this video. If you need to, write it down. I know this helps me immensely, where when I need to process my emotions and things that I'm going through, I'll just write it down on a piece of paper. It allows me to get all the jumbled mess and thoughts in my brain out on paper, and I'm able to just make sense of it. Going forward, I want you guys to train yourself. Train yourself in those moments to pause. When you have those thoughts of, "Ah, God, that was a waste of time. That wasn't worth it. I just wasted my energy on this." Pause. Just pause. It's okay. Sit with that hurt. Sit with it. Validate yourself. So, yeah, you know, that was painful. Or, that didn't turn out the way that I expected it to. And that sucks. But what did I learn from that? What did I learn? It's easier said than done. I know. I'm still going through it. But having somebody to talk to, or again, writing it down. If you have a therapist, if you have a close friend that you feel that you can be vulnerable with, it's all about practice. You're not going to get it right the first time. You're not going to have that shift of mindset the first time. It might take a bit. It might take a while. Learning any new thing takes a while. And so I want you to give yourself grace and hold that space for yourself because you deserve that space. You deserve to feel validated. You deserve respect, not only from others, but from yourself as well. I hope this video was helpful in some way. Let me know in the comments some things that you are going through right now that you could apply that shift of mindset. I would love to hear it. I would love to know what's going on in your guys' lives, whatever you're willing to share. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.